Hola and welcome to ProSpanish. In this last video of the year, you're going to experience for yourself just how quickly you can become conversational in Spanish with the right techniques. So we'll start by laying down our foundation stone, and that is going to be ocupado. So ocupado is nice and easy, occupied, ocupado. So you'd see on a public toilet sign, it might say ocupado, occupied. And it also means taken, like for example if a seat is occupied or a table is occupied. Ocupado. And from here we'll build up a little bit. So we might say está ocupado. It's occupied, it's taken. So somebody might want to take a seat from the table that you're sitting at, but you're waiting for somebody else to arrive, and you can say está ocupado. It's occupied, it's taken. Or again at the bathroom, you might say está ocupado. It's taken. And if you want to ask, is it occupied? It's just the same. We just change the voice slightly, the intonation. So está ocupado, it's occupied. Está ocupado, está ocupado. So we just go up a little bit at the end to make it a question. Is it occupied? Está ocupado. So if you want to check before taking a seat from another table, you could say está ocupado. Is it taken? Is it occupied? Okay, so we've laid a bit of a foundation and we want to build on this, but without overloading too much. So let's go with bien. You might have seen the word bien before. It's the same in French as well with a different pronunciation. So bien means well or okay. Okay, and we're going to use it as okay here. So bien is okay. How do you think you would say it's okay? If you remember how we said it's taken, so how would we say it's okay? Está bien. Está bien. Está bien. It's okay. Está bien. And what do you think it would be to ask the question, is it okay? Is it okay? Just as before, the question is the same as the statement. So, ¿está bien? ¿Está bien? Is it okay? ¿Está bien? Sí, está bien. Yes, it's okay. What about it's not okay? Well, if you want to say something isn't, it's a negative, you just put no at the beginning. So it's not okay would be no está bien. No está bien. It's not okay. No está bien. So then how would you say it's not occupied? It's not occupied. It's free. It's not occupied. What would that be? And if you're new to ProSpanish, make sure that you think through your answer. So pause the video if you need to. So it's not occupied would be no está ocupado. No está ocupado. It's not occupied. Okay, let's add a little bit more. We had está for it's or is it, está. To say you are, we just add an S. So it becomes estás. Estás. So you are is estás. You are okay. You are okay. What would that be as a statement? You're okay. Estás bien. Estás bien. You're okay. What would the question be? Are you okay? ¿Estás bien? ¿Estás bien? Are you okay? ¿Estás bien? How about, are you occupied? Now, we saw before that ocupado was used in the sense of something being taken, or the toilet being occupied. But ocupado, just like occupied in English, can also mean busy. So, how would you ask, are you busy? Are you busy? What would that be? ¿Estás ocupado? ¿Estás ocupado? Are you busy? ¿Estás ocupado? And if you are asking a woman or a girl, it would be ocupada, ocupada, because to show that it's a feminine adjective, we would have the O change into an A, so ocupada. So asking a girl or a woman, are you busy? ¿Estás ocupada? So you can see how we're seamlessly building up with no big jumps, no big explanations needed. So I'll just add on another word here, preocupado. So we had ocupado, which is occupied or busy, and preocupado, preoccupied, or more commonly worried. So preocupado, preocupado. How would you ask the question? Are you worried? Are you worried? What would that be? ¿Estás preocupado? ¿Estás preocupado? Are you worried? How about if you're asking a girl or a woman? So in the feminine form, how would you ask, are you worried? ¿Estás preocupada? ¿Estás preocupada? So what we have so far is we started off with the kind of foundation block, which was just ocupado, occupied, taken. We said that we could say, it's occupied, it's taken. Está ocupado, está ocupado. We said that you can say the question in the same way, using the same words as the statement, just a slight change in the pronunciation. ¿Está ocupado? Is it taken? We saw that you are is estás. So you're occupied or you're busy. Or as a question, are you busy? ¿Estás ocupado? And now we've seen that preoccupied, preocupado, or worried, we can use ¿Estás preocupado? Are you worried? And the feminine form is just changing the O to an A. So ¿Estás preocupada? If you're asking a girl or a woman if she is worried. So having established a firm base, we are now able to layer on some vocabulary which will give a lot more versatility and kind of conversational usefulness to what we're teaching. A quick pause there while I mention our very popular Levels 1 to 6 course. This takes the complete beginner or a near beginner right up to a conversational level of Spanish in a series of very easy to follow steps. All the lessons on this YouTube channel are supplementary, whereas the core levels 1 to 6 is very much a step-by-step program delivered by the same teacher as all the other videos on the ProSpanish YouTube channel. And while the style is very similar to what you'll be used to from these videos on the channel, the key difference is that every lesson carefully builds on the previous lessons so that you can really feel that progress of going from very little or know Spanish up to a level where you can confidently hold a conversation in Spanish. So again, that's available exclusively from prospanish.co.uk. So we already know ocupado or ocupada if it's feminine. So ocupado, busy or occupied or taken. And we saw preocupado, nice and easy, worried or preoccupied, preocupado or preocupada. Another easy one is cansado. Cansado is tired. If you're cansado, you're tired. Feminine version, cansada. So cansado or cansada, tired. And you have to be careful not to mix up being tired with being married, because casado is married, or casada, the feminine form, married. So one way of remembering this is the word casa. If you know the word casa is house, and perhaps you can think of casa, casado, that when you're married you live in the same house. Just a way of separating it from cansado, which is tired. And for obvious reasons, you don't want to get those two mixed up. So cansado, cansada, tired, casado, casada, married. This one's easy to remember. Emocionado. So emoción is the emotion. Emocionado is excited. So excited with the emotion. So emocionado or emocionada, feminine form. Emocionado, emocionada. And finally, what we already saw, which was bien. Bien. Okay. Bien. Okay. And let's go to this first column here. So, está we saw already for it's. So, it's occupied, or it's okay, está bien. We saw you are, or in the question, are you? We just add an S on. Estás. Estás. Are you? And a new one, so this is where we're layering up some more vocabulary. Estoy. Estoy is I am. Estoy. And for the last two we have Pablo está. Pablo is. Or María está. Maria is. And you can see it's exactly the same form as está at the beginning. It is. Because we say he, she, and it. So that's the third person, singular, he, she, or it. So they have the same verb. So we can have Pablo está, Pablo is, and María está. And we'll just add a couple of extra things at the end. We won't always use these, but sometimes we want to practice longer sentences. So hoy is today, and ahora is now. Hoy and ahora. So we've established our foundation, we've layered on some vocabulary, and now we'll work on some fluency. So first of all, just try to find these words in the table. What's the word for today? Hoy. Hoy. How do you say married? Casado. Casado. How do you say tired? Feminine form. Cansada. Cansada. How do you say Pablo is? Pablo está. Pablo está. What's I am? Estoy. Estoy. Okay, and now I'm going to ask you to make some sentences. You can look at the table as much as you want, or you can look away from time to time to try to test yourself a little bit more. Okay, so first of all, how would you say you are worried today? Estás preocupado hoy. Estás preocupado hoy. How would you say, I'm busy now? I'm busy now. And let's say you're a woman saying that. How would a woman say that? Estoy ocupada ahora. Estoy ocupada ahora. How about Pablo is married? What would that be? Pablo is married. Pablo está casado. Pablo está casado. We could say Pablo's married now. What would that be? Pablo está casado ahora. Pablo está casado ahora. How about Maria is excited? What would that be? María está emocionada. María está emocionada. How about Maria's excited today? María está emocionada hoy. María está emocionada hoy. And remember, to make a negative, you just put not at the beginning. How would you say, it's not occupied now? What would that be? No está ocupado ahora. No está ocupado ahora. And let's have a question. How would you say, is it okay now? Is it okay now? ¿Está bien ahora? ¿Está bien ahora? And how would you say, I'm not okay? I'm not okay. No estoy bien. No estoy bien. I'm not okay. Or I'm not well. No estoy bien. So you can see how far you can go and how quickly you can go just by starting with that one foundation, which was ocupado. And this is how the ProSpanish course is able to get you to a conversational level of Spanish so quickly, by starting with an easy foundation building block and then layering up on top of that, as opposed to abstract grammar and lots of memorising. We haven't had time to go into the fluency activities included in the course, but one which is worth a quick mention because it's so popular is the 600 pyramids included in the all-in-one package, which gets you using and understanding Spanish spoken at a fast, natural pace. The start of a new year is a great time to commit to becoming conversationally fluent in Spanish, so head over to prospanish.co.uk and join the many thousands of other learners who have come from these YouTube videos to the ProSpanish Levels 1 to 6 course.